Yeah, hello.
Welcome back to
Welcome back to Brian and Lars from COLOURLOCK. We're still in Florida. We're still on our Honda. We did the steering wheel with the steering wheel kit. We did a proper cleaning and caring with a driver seat.
for the most commonly used seat in the vehicle.
Yeah. And what we saw in this video is there's some color missing from coming in and out.
Correct.
So we say, okay, let's do another video how to use Leather Fresh. What is very similar to the steering wheel kit, but we have also this Leather Fresh kit. Here's the cleaner inside, there's the leather dye inside, what we call Leather Fresh, and the protector. There's a instruction inside, some sponges, a gloss, and it comes with a sanding pad, with a brush, and with a degreaser. So everything what you need to clean and re-dye the seat.
Correct.
We will focus, of course, on
the fresh.
On the fresh, but we will do quickly the cleaning process. Then anything else, Brian will show directly on the car.
This is by far what makes COLOURLOCK as well. Like, this is the kit that is the missing piece in most leather inquiries that we receive. 9 times out of 10 is somewhere in your car's life it will need this kit, and this is what makes COLOURLOCK and who they are. So this is ideally we're going to focus on the Leather Fresh in this video. Again, it's the color, and we can you can visit the website and you're going to find that a lot of the colors, standard colors, are easily available, easy to find, easy to navigate to. But also note that if by chance, if that isn't the case, you can contact us and we can produce you a custom color.
Yeah, you can send a sample, a headrest, for example, armrest, whatever.
Correct.
Or just ask us, I have this kind of car with this kind of leather. Do you maybe have the formula or the recipe?
Yep.
Maybe if we have it, we can do it for you. If not, you are welcome to send us a sample. Just go in contact with Brian. He knows the full process and will help you.
Sometimes age and sun can cause an alteration to the original color, and it might be off slightly. So again, we can help with that and getting it dialed in to be the perfect color match. So again, we're going to focus on the Leather Fresh in this. We've spoken in a previous a little bit about the cleaning, but we're still going to repeat the process here.
Yes.
So again, we've already, in the previous, we've kind of cleaned and we've done the leather shield on the protection here, but again, we noticed that there's color missing on this bolster. So we're going to repeat some of the process. I'm going to use a foam cube, and I'm going to use the mild leather cleaner in the kit, and just kind of lightly clean the area to just start, obviously. So once we get this area clean, which will not take much, and the foam cube is more than sufficient.
Yeah, because it's already cleaned.
It's already cleaned.
If you start from zero, so that is the reason why the leather cleaning brush is also inside of the kit. Correct. Just apply the cleaner on the brush or on the foam, and you can help you out with cleaning on this. Then yeah, wipe the surface, remove the cleaner and the dirt, and next step is then touch it with your finger, and if it's rough, then sand it down with a sanding pad. Be careful on the stitches. Correct. That you don't
add too much pressure or overdo it.
That you don't make it rough on the stitches, so don't go over the stitches. Sand on the side for the stitches.
And then as well, if you have a different color contrast stitch, say for example you have a black bolster with a white stitch, you'll want to mask your stitches off as far as once we get to the Leather Fresh step. But for right now, the second step in this fresh care package is we're going to just give this area a light sand. This is going to help smooth this area down on our rough areas. We're going to have some highs and lows in the finished leather here on the top. So and by feeling this, you're gonna feel quite an improvement. Obviously, sanding sounds like a terrible thing. It's actually not. The leather can take it, and it's not so much the leather that can handle it. The leather can absolutely handle sanding. The pigment, what's sitting here on top, the color, the protective coat. These are the things that we're kind of helping to muddy it up a little bit, if that makes sense. We're gonna try to smoothen this what's lying here on the top, but again, the leather can absolutely handle it.
Especially when you use the sanding pad, because it is a sanding sponge, this pad.
Correct.
So it's very gentle on hard corners. So when you use a sanding paper, it will be on the stitches or on the edge just too oppressive. So that is why we have this special leather
Interface pad.
What is very gentle and rough on the same time.
Yes, it's allowing me to be a little bit more consistent with my pressure. So again, if we tried to use this with flat sandpaper, to Lars's point, we would be focusing too much attention in one small area at a time through our finger pressure, and our finger pressure will kind of dictate what's happening there. As the interface pad is very important because it's helping us to maintain more consistency with our pressure.
Step 3?
Step 3 is we're going to degrease this area. The kit comes with a larger size degreaser. So, but for right now, we're going to use what we have open right now. And this is going to help to remove any little tiny particles or shards of paint or dust that we might have created. So we're basically going to clean and prep this bolster section, which is going to help for the leather fresh to be able to adhere properly to the surface, much like how a doctor would clean a wound before stitching you back up. So obviously we're going to be obviously we're working on the pigment right now, pigment being the color. So with that being said, everything in the kit is perfectly safe all around the board. Vinyl, leather, it is very safe on these painted sections. So but again, this is going to help to clean and prep this area.
So let the degreaser dry, and then you always call it the funny part.
The fun part.
Leather fresh, or
yeah,
the fun part.
The fun part.
The fun part.
The fun part.
Now to the fun part.
To the fun part with the leather fresh. This is the product that's going to make all of the difference and make some of our prep work come back to life. So very simply, this was already pre-made, ready to made for this color, and simply dab I usually say about a dime size, nickel size bit of leather fresh onto the applicator pad. I give it a light squeeze, and we're just gonna dab. We had a little issue here where we were missing some surface paint in that area from the friction of getting in and out. A very common, very common problem with bolsters. So by using the leather shield from the start could have absolutely helped to reduce that from happening. The fact that it has happened, again, this is a much needed kit for pretty much every car owner. You have to have a little bit of this between the bolsters, the steering wheels, the shift knobs, the elbow rest, everywhere where we're constantly applying friction. All of these areas will be in need of a leather fresh at some point in its indefinite life.
And it's now a little bit too bright and too glossy, but
Correct.
the reason is because it's still wet.
It's still wet.
And you can let it dry by himself. You can use a heat gun or you use a hair dryer.
Correct. And it's going to come back to a very nice matte appearance. Rather quickly, and already safe to the touch.
If necessary, you can sand it again.
Correct.
With a sanding pad. Is something what we recommend just to get a better result. And if you have a bright color like this, you have to apply 4 times maybe. If you have a black seat, 2-3 times is enough. And yeah, just sand it gentle and apply again.
And ideally we're going to want to build up, I try to say at minimum at least 4 thin layers. 4 thin layers is pretty healthy. Ideally, you know, with black or things like that, we might be able to get away with those minimal numbers. But with light colors, we can, you know, we can go up a little bit higher. But again, these are very thin coats, and we're building it up slowly. If we apply too much leather fresh in the area, kind of paint it on there, if you will, it will become very obvious that it was a repair. So the more time and more patience that we take in this step, the better your end result will be. So the last step through our kit process is the leather protector. And the leather protector, we're going to recommend to apply it the next day. We're going to be very patient with our process. We're not going to try to complete this right now. We want to wait until the next day, give this at least overnight to allow everything to permanently set up into its new fixed position. So, and then the next day we will apply the leather protector, and from that point on we're good to go, and we have great protection. We will reduce again the chances of our repair falling apart, and we don't want to see our repair diminish within a few months. So the leather protector will be an ideal last step to follow up with. But again, ideally not till the next day. Same process. We got our foam applicator pad and the leather protector, same dime size, nickel size drop, and apply, swipe. And you can also use the towel applicator as well. So either one of these is just fine to use. Very important as well, after this is done, you can treat and clean and condition the leather kind of back to its, you know, into the traditional means that, you know, we're mostly accustomed to. So if we wanted to apply the leather protector tomorrow, we apply it, and then say next weekend I feel like throwing some conditioner down. that is fine. You can do that. Oftentimes we might hear questions where, you know, well, can I put the conditioner on, or can I clean it? Absolutely. Basically, once we get the protector on it, we're pretty much back to I don't want to say a brand new finish, but this is the new finish. So by that point, we're now dealing with the leather again into a more comfortable state of simplifying our process and saying, you know, so if you did want to condition it, say with using the elephant fat, for example, it makes for a great waterproofer. You can do that. It's not necessarily needed, but again, you don't have to worry about mixing the steps up. You don't have to worry about using a leather cleaner on top of this anymore. You can erase the process that we just did and go back to your simplified new leather care kit that we've explained in the previous video. You can just stick with that, and that's fine. But at some point in your vehicle's life, the leather fresh is going to be needed, whether it's a steering wheel, a shift knob, or a bolster. The real problem is just knowing when it's going to happen. So again, COLOURLOCK Leather Fresh is usually the missing component in most people's leather care practices. If we were to take a leather conditioner and just condition over that spot, yes, we could have lightened it up some, and yes, you know, like the elephant fat, for example, could have masked that area, but it doesn't fix it. It does not substitute as a fix. So the leather fresh is the fix. These two particular items right here, followed up with the degreaser and the leather fresh, and now we can get back to what we want and back to what we know. So usually, again, this is the missing element in most people's leather care, and it's at the same time, it's a product that's needed for every car at some point in its life, in its indefinite lifespan. So leather fresh, again, COLOURLOCK is this is what makes a basic system into a professional system very simply. You know, anybody can do this. You can do this.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Very welcome.
And we did a customer happy, so
yes,
we can take some dinner and be happy to fix this car. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.